Hello, welcome to Living Fit with Let's Get It Started. My name's Romona Wiltshire, your host today. The show that focuses on wellness, nutrition, and health. Today I've got an incredible meal for you. I'm going to prepare for you Kale Quiche with chicken, a very high fiber protein meal. If you're looking at getting your waistline looking great, this is the meal for you. All right, so let's get it started. I have an array of the ingredients here that I am going to show you exactly, very simple, but exactly what it entails. I have some lean chicken breasts, some caramelized onions, about 2 to 3 handfuls of kale, some 2% or non-fat mozzarella cheese, some cayenne pepper, I've got some onions, some garlic, and we're gonna get it started. And of course, a cup of almond milk. Very healthy, but nutritious. And we're gonna get started right now. All right, so what I wanna get started with, I want to saute my chicken breast for you. So we're gonna get started with that. Just a little bit of oil. You can use olive oil or avocado oil, making certain to keep it healthy, of course. So those are always great choices. So I'm gonna get the skillet warmed up here. And basically, you can do, if you're doing 1 serving size, 6-ounce chicken breast is great. Again, we're trying to make this healthy. So lean is always great when you're looking at your waistline. And we're gonna take care of that today. So here's my chicken breast. And we just wanna just get that sauteing there. Just a few minutes. I would say chicken breast is very easy to cook. I would say about 3 to 5 minutes in here. And basically it's just about getting sauteed. This meal is a very simple meal. If you want something different yet healthy, this is definitely it. So I'm just gonna saute that for a little bit. I'm just going to put just a little bit salt in there, sea salt of course, trying to make it healthy. I'm gonna put a little bit of cayenne. Want to keep the spices to a minimal because we don't want to overpower it with all the different spices. So just add in, like I said, some sea salt, take the freshness out of it, along with the cayenne to give it a little edge. And this should be finished cooking momentarily. Once again, this is kale quiche with chicken in it. It's gonna be high fiber, high protein. I like balance. Balance is always great. And I think when you're looking at creating and getting different ideas on cooking, you can't go wrong with this. It's a low carb food where there's not a lot of starches in it. I add the chicken breast where people usually don't add protein to it. So the chicken in there is going to give you a protein, of course, your lean protein to build muscle, which burn fat. This protein builds muscle, muscle burn fat. And so therefore, I like that just adding protein. I'm into really building muscles and burning fat. So that's always a great idea to include protein in your meal. And I love kale. Kale, it's a different vegetable to use. Anything that's green leaf, you can't go wrong with green leafy vegetables. And I know we normally would do spinach. I thought it'd be a different idea to try kale. And surprisingly, it's very tasty. So I just want to give this a few more, just a couple more minutes to cook here. And that's brung in very nicely here. You're gonna be in for a treat. Kale quiche, you can make it for your guests, you can cook it for yourself or for your family. I kid you not, it's a great way to, make a delicious meal without sacrificing flavor like I always mention. And my idea is making certain you get a great nutritional meal without sacrificing flavor and looking at your waistline. Of course, you can always refer to my book for several other recipes, Living Fit and Fabulous at Every Age. You can go on livingfit.com. You will definitely see that. And of course, You're gonna see that website address in the end of the credits. But that's cooking nicely. Not very hard to cook at all. You know, dishes like this seems to be intimidated. People think it takes so much time, but truly it's a very, very short meal. Just the preparation, just preparing your chicken breast, dicing it in nice squares to, you know, you always want your food to look pretty. Making sure they're diced nicely in nice equal squares. Always, always, always not a bad idea. I just want to add a little bit of the crystallized garlic. And basically what I did, I crystallized the garlic earlier. And that's basically using some olive oil. You just get some olive oil. Crystallize the onions until it gets golden brown. And the taste, they really make your meal. They just really add incredible flavors to your meal. So I just wanted to add that. I'm gonna give this about another minute or so. And that's looking nicely right there. That's cooking very nicely right there. Sprunging. You are gonna be in for a treat, like I said. A very high protein dish, yep, flavorful. Instead of macaroni and cheese, you're gonna have quiche. And this is gonna be low fat. I replace milk, regular milk. People usually tend to use regular cow's milk. I have almond milk, and you can get the the unsweetened almond milk. I'm always looking at and concerned about your waistline, so you can't go wrong with almond milk. I like it because it's a plant product compared to animal product, which is not as great for us. So you can't go wrong. So almond milk, and like I said, the low fat or non-fat mozzarella cheese would work just as well. All right, this looks good. I think I am going to turn that down all the way while we just add the rest of the ingredients. And you're about to see how simple. We are going to be finished cooking in a few minutes. I'm going to turn that down in a meanwhile. What I have here is just some onions, some garlic, and I'm just going to dice that up nicely here. Just a couple different things we're using here too. I didn't want to overwhelm the dish by using too many different spices. I want to make certain I keep the taste of the quiche. So, you know, I love using a lot of garlic, onions like that, because it brings out a lot of flavor. A great way to bring out flavor in food instead of using high sodium, salt, things of that sort. So I've got our onions. You don't have to be fancy with it. Just cut it up, very simple. I like fresh. You can't go wrong with fresh. So just get some fresh garlic cloves, cut it up nicely, and then we're gonna get ready to get started. So what I have here, like I said, about 2 handfuls of kale, 2 or 3 handfuls, depending on how many servings. This should yield you about 2 servings. So if you're cooking for your family, you can always just double up in the portion. So I'm gonna add that to the bowl. All right, that's 2 to 3 handful of kale right there. I'm going to add our low fat or non-fat mozzarella cheese. I like mozzarella because it's low in fat compared to the other ones. All right, so that's low fat mozzarella cheese in there. Simply, very, very simply, just the way you're seeing what I'm doing here is exactly how this is going to be done. Very, very simple. I have the caramelized onions. I'm gonna add, and I use 1 big onion. You can get the sweet or the unsweetened one. It's quite all right. So so far I've got the mozzarella cheese in there, the caramelized onions, and now I'm gonna add the milk to it. Okay. Again, almond milk, can't go wrong with it. I love it. It's just great for anything, bacon, cooking. Oh my gosh, your cereal, you just can't go wrong with it. Very, very high in omega fatty acids as well. And there go our garlic right in there. Okay, just a little bit. I don't like to use a lot of sodium. You want to keep it because when you're getting in shape, sodium is important. A lot of times we accumulate a lot of water weight. We're trying to get in shape, but everything is high sodium. So I like sea salt, okay? However, very little, not much. So I'm just gonna put a little bit in there. So that's your sea salt, some cayenne pepper right there. I like spices, so you don't have to go as heavy. Just a pinch will do, okay? And I'm just going to mix that in there. Just gonna mix it. And this is basically adding the ingredients, mixing it together. I'm just waiting for my chicken to cool off because I'm going to add that as well. And that's looking very, very nice. If you can take a look at it, you can see that looks really good. Very, very, very simple. Very, very simple to create here. I think my chicken is done and it's cool, so I'm just gonna add it. Like I said, this is about 6 ounces of chicken breast. I add some, as you can, if you remember, I added the caramelized onion, just a little bit of salt, some cayenne pepper to give it a little kick, and that was basically it. And basically sauteed and browned it is what I did. So this is very, very, very simple. I want all the onions in there because it's gonna be delicious. I tell you something about caramelizing that onion, and you simply do that by sauteing it and keeping it, just allow it to get brown in some olive oil, and that does wonders. And here we go again. I'm just gonna mix all that together. If you can see that right there, it's just looking really good and it smells great. I mean, it just smells incredible and it's gonna taste great. Very, very, very simple dish. You want something different to eat besides salad, besides the, the regular chicken breast. I mean, I know, a lot of times when we talk about diet, we tend to keep it so monotonous with the salads and things of that sort. And I want to give you a different perspective on getting healthy, okay? I mean, we've got a high protein meal. You got your greens, the kale greens. I mean, it's just awesome. And I'm going to show you, I'm getting this nicely mixed, and it just looks gorgeous. Looks really, 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 really good. I mean, this is basically our mixture right here, all right? And so what I'm going to do is we're just going to add it to our bowl. And if you have some, if you're using a glass bowl, this is usually great. It's usually not hot, but you can spray some Pam in there, non-stick, some non-stick spray, always work. And I'm literally going to empty it in here. Gosh, that looks awesome. That looks awesome. Very, 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 very good. I want to get everything. I want to get the almond milk. Everything is in there. That looks great. And if you can see it, it's looking beautiful already. And basically, all I'm simply going to do here, is sprinkle the rest of, and like again I said, it's 1 cup of mozzarella low fat or none fat. And I'm just literally going to sprinkle this on top here. Wow, this is going to be delicious, I promise you. Your family is going to forget they're eating weight loss. We're not going to call this weight loss food because guess what? That's too boring. They're going to have a healthy, nutritious meal. And there you have it. We're going to set this in the oven for about 35 minutes on 325, and you are going to be in for a delicious meal. So all your mixtures, your mozzarella cheese, just leave a little bit left over from the cup to sprinkle on top. You're going to add that in the oven for about 35 minutes or so. And for time's sake, I've got the finished product for you for time's sake. And this is basically what it looks like. And I'm going to dive in and cut a slice for you. Okay? So here we go. This is going to be delicious. Very, very delicious. This is going to be really good. I mean, you can't go wrong. This doesn't even look like we're about to have any kind of food. Doesn't look boring. It's going to be absolutely delicious. Very, very delicious. Just cutting some slices so you can get an idea what it'll look like. It's going to be really, really, really nice. Okay. Kale, and here we go. This is our kale dish. All done, Like I said, very, very simple ingredients. I mean, it's going to be delicious. I can't wait to dive in. Once again, very simple ingredients. I have chicken breast in there, a couple handful of kale, some almond milk instead of regular milk, low-fat mozzarella cheese, some caramelized onions. Very, 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 very simple ingredients. A little bit of cayenne to give it a kick, and I am going to dive in. I hope you plan on diving in with me as well. Let's see how that came out. Can't believe it. It's absolutely delicious. You make certain to write and let me know what you think. In the meanwhile, enjoy, and I'll see you on your next cooking segment. Bye.